All right, so we are so happy to have Heather Mitchell here tonight. She and I met at the NFAR race, and this Blue Envelope program is just amazing, and I think it's a great resource for our families. So Heather is a crime prevention specialist with the San Diego Sheriff's Department and a Blue Envelope program ambassador. She works to engage with the community throughout San Diego County based on the unique needs of the communities. In 2022, Heather was recognized for her community outreach efforts through the Bonsall Chamber of Commerce and the Bonsall Rotary at their First Responder of the Year award ceremony. And in October of 2023, she was awarded a proclamation by the County of San Diego Board of Supervisors for her community outreach work in San Diego County as a Blue Envelope Program ambassador. And then in January of 2024, she was nominated for the San Diego County Sheriff's Department's Outstanding Employee Award. So we are so grateful to have you here tonight, Heather. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I was so excited when I got the invitation. So I'm very grateful to be here as well.
Yes. All right, we'll let you
Super.
take it away.
Okay, so that's me. So let me introduce myself.
You
First
share
of
whatever
all,
you love.
thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to meet and engage with this support group. We did meet at the Race for Autism. We actually had a booth next to each other and ended up talking so much during the Race for Autism. And I had to realize, oh yeah, I'm working a resource booth too. So it's just really great. I'll give a little bit of background into my own personal life, and that's really how I became involved with the Blue Envelope program. So I've served San Diego County for about 25 years in different capacities, but I'm definitely a local girl and definitely with a servant's heart. I have three daughters. My oldest is 28. I have a grandson that's 5, and I have twins that are 13, Ava and Mia. So as being a parent with twins, when you start noticing these milestones, it's a little bit different with twins because you start comparing. One of my twins was walking first, talking first, and we noticed that the other one was a little bit behind. But as we started taking them to their pediatrician, the doctors were always like, "Oh, mom, you're just comparing the twins. Ava is, just a little bit behind Mia." But I think as parents, we knew that there was more to it. There was something I was seeing when that maternal instinct kicks in that wasn't right, and it took about 3 years finally battling with the doctors to get her evaluated. And by the time she was 3, she was diagnosed with autism. As scary as it was vindicating because I knew that something was wrong. I wasn't just, comparing one twin from another. There were certain things we would see. Her speech was a little bit delayed, and when she would get excited or scared, the hand flapping was really very, very apparent, and her learning ability was a little bit delayed. So then when I felt like I won one battle, then the next one is resources. What kind of resources as a parent when when you have a child that is diagnosed with any kind of need, you become their advocate. You want to learn everything about whatever it is that they have so you can advocate for them, because I think that their lifespan flashes in, before you in a matter of seconds when you're thinking of when they get older, what are they going to need? What do I need to know? And then I hit another struggle is finding resources and support groups. So at that time around 2012, 2013, there weren't a lot of resources. And then a lot of the government programs we didn't qualify for. So we were kind of left in this middle working area where we couldn't afford to pay out of pocket for programs, but we also didn't qualify for some of the free resources that were there. And so I just immersed myself in learning everything that I could. So now as the girls got older, it was time for them to start school. And sometimes large settings for Ava were very disturbing. So at that time, we had found a charter school that had smaller class size, and they still go to this school to this day. They're in 7th grade now. But the other important component was having that good partnership, between schools. And now that they're getting older, they're in a new, like I was explaining earlier, they're in a new genre of middle school. So middle school, if there's any parents out there that have middle schoolers, God bless you, because this is hard, as they're becoming their own adult too. Now you have Ava with autism who still has certain twerks. And, I was telling them that each year is still a learning component for me. So with that being said, I want to talk about how Blue Envelope came to be in San Diego County. One of my jobs, I'm assigned to the Fallbrook Station, and what I do is community outreach. So I'm that liaison between the community and patrol, or listening to community concerns and coming up with solutions. In Fallbrook, we had a large, I would say, parent support group of autism. And I had someone reach out to me before and tell me, I have an adult child, we have a lot of resources and groups for kids, but what about those children that are 15, 16, 17, where we are trying to teach them to become adults, but so scared for what that holds as they step out into the big world. And shortly around that time, it was in May of last year, part of my job is handling our station's Twitter page. And, late one night, I happened to be fumbling through Twitter, and Riverside County Sheriff's Department had posted a video, and it looked interesting. It was called the Blue Envelope Program. And I said, oh, I want to see what this is about. For Riverside, they had done basically a demo video about their version of the Blue Envelope Program. And it was specifically for those that were on adult drivers that were on the spectrum, and just providing a resource, which was literally a blue envelope that would help adult drivers if should they ever make contact with law enforcement while they're driving, or be involved in a traffic stop. And basically the blue envelope was very similar to this. It had instructions in the front as far as what the driver needs to do, and instructions in the back as far as what the deputy would need to know. But inside it had everything that you would need for a traffic stop: license, registration, proof of insurance. Those were all included. And the video just was so well done, and it just struck a chord with me. It was actually that night that I reached out to my supervisor saying, hey, look what Riverside did. This is something that I know San Diego County could really benefit from. And as we started brainstorming, the blue envelope started slowly coming to life in the county. And it wasn't just a one-person thing. This was really a blue envelope team from the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. So we had different people from our department. It was our ADA representative, and it was other department heads that were involved in, as we brainstormed, how do we want this program to format. And then we started reaching out to community partners like the Autism Society, the Alzheimer's Society, and other groups where we wanted their input. And Brain Injury Center was another one. And some of them said, I love the concept, but for a lot of our clients, they don't drive. So this may not be necessarily a realistic program. Some of them take public transit. Some of them just walk. It's a great resource for anyone in general. So it took a few months. This was actually one of the one of the quickest developed programs in our department, because it was just such a resourceful tool. So as we started brainstorming more, it evolved to not just autism and not just driving. We wanted to reach such a large audience within this county. And so we created it for anyone that might have certain communication issues. It just doesn't have to be one specific. We wanted to make sure that there was a resource. So when you do come in contact with, law enforcement, it might trigger that there might need additional communication tools necessary. And then we started thinking, well, how do we want to know, if they need additional resources, right? We want it to be something very inconspicuous, not out there. And so again, we called in for our community partners. Again, the County Board of Supervisors was a vital role also in bringing this program to life. And also the police chiefs and sheriff's associations were also extremely important. When we all started brainstorming, we came up with things like a keychain. I don't know if everyone can see that, but a keychain holder, maybe a pop socket, maybe it's not the adult, maybe, mom or dad's driving and you have a child in the car with autism. Well, I can tell you sometimes loud noises, bright lights are very disturbing and very scary for kids, right? So then we develop seatbelt covers. And so that might trigger the law enforcement officer to say, hey buddy, I'm just going to talk to your mom or dad real quick. And it just kind of softens that engagement, but also provides the resources that that individual might need. Then we have those that ride public transit. So now our MTS, Metropolitan Transit System, and North County Transit are on board, right? They think this is a great program as well. And it's like, well, if you don't want to use the blue envelopes because no one riding the bus or the trolley is going to want to carry it around, well, what about something smaller like a little ID card? So this program was so simple that I feel like some of us were scratching our head trying to make it more complicated. And it really is a great resource in the sense of there's no registration. You don't have to enroll your loved one in anything. We don't need any of your information. We don't need a medical report if you should come in contact with law enforcement. This is something where you just display however you want, whether we have bracelets, we have lanyards, whatever you want to display, and that will alert us that we may need to take alternative measures for communication. And Eric, if you want to, we can play the video if you're okay with that. And then after that, I'll just talk a little more, and then I would love to get to know everyone if that's good.
Yeah, I think you can play the video right now. It'd be great.
Is now available in San Diego County. It's a new tool to assist law enforcement agencies and community organizations to better understand and assist members of the public with a condition or disability that may impact communication or require additional accommodations or awareness. Here's how it works. Individuals can display one of several items readily displaying the blue envelope logo. These items may be a physical blue envelope, wristbands, lanyards, stickers, pins, or other items available for free through our community partners or your local law enforcement agency. This allows a sheriff's deputy or police officer who sees the blue envelope logo to know an individual has a condition or disability requiring additional accommodations or assistance during a service call or emergency. There's also blue envelope branded products designed to carry important information, such as medical or contact details. Participation in the Blue Envelope program is free and voluntary. For more information on the Blue Envelope program and where to pick up the Blue Envelope products, visit the website below. You can also scan the QR code on your screen. Thank you for making San Diego a Blue Envelope County.
Okay, so with that being said, they used diabetics or diabetes. If you notice on the blue envelope, one of the notes was diabetic needed insulin. And I'll highlight on that because a lot of times, sometimes people with communication challenges might be perceived as being under the influence or being drunk. I know when my grandmother is low on insulin, her speech is slurred. And a lot of times, I think of my own daughter, Ava, when she's excited or scared, her hands start to flap, uncontrollably. And sometimes that could also be misperceived as something else. So this is just a really great way to just use that resource tool that, whether you're the community or whether you work for a law enforcement agency, it's just a great resource tool for all of us to have. And we all went through training. So when they say it's a blue envelope county, our law enforcement agencies here in the county all are blue envelope partners. Everybody's been trained in recognizing the blue envelope logo. Just some fun history about it. It actually started in a very small town in Connecticut. And they use that as, again, a resource tool, unfortunately, because there had some unfortunate situations happen where somebody was misconstrued as being drunk, and it was actually a communication issue. So when we did our research, we actually got to talk with the police department out in Connecticut, who was a large help in giving us input on how they brought their program to Connecticut. And now it's statewide. So it's part of their legislation. You can go to any DMV, you can go to any college, any government building, and they will have resources for their version of Blue Envelope. For us, and if you are interested in the Blue Envelope program, you can go to any of the participating law enforcement or community partner agencies, including all of our sheriff stations, and get your Blue Envelope resource in whatever fashion that you or your household might need. So this is just a couple pages, but it's just the resources. Or do you want to toggle through it for me? Because I don't.
Sure. You need
Oh,
the next slide or?
yeah. So we started planning this in May. I remember the date. It was like May 4th at 11 at night that I saw the video from the Riverside Sheriff's Department. And the official launch, it was introduced into the county at the Board of Supervisors meeting on October 16th of last year. And let me tell you, it took everything in me not to cry, because my girls got to be up as we all got were asked to come forward. They invited my children too. So that was full circle for me. And it was great because we had a lot of the community partners there because it was so important to them. So that was a super emotional day all around. It was such an advancement for the county as a whole. But it definitely had a personal note for me as well. So this program, like I said, has been effective since October 16th. And go to the next one. And so these are just what we have on our website. So this screen is what you would see on our website. I'm sorry, if you want to go back one, I'll show you. So when you go to www.sdsheriff.gov, you're going to go under the community button, which you'll see at the top with the green underline underneath it on the bar tab. I don't know if you see that there. It says bureaus, community, and then recruitment. So you would go to the top one right there. You would click on community, and then you can switch the page. And then under community, it would go to Blue Envelope. And this just basically talks about how the program works, which is what we briefly touched on. But as you can see, we have just general stickers. Those are what the bracelets look like. So everything's just going to be a subtle blue envelope. It just is however you want to identify. We have the reflective stickers for the car. If you are a driver or your child is an adult driver, you can certainly keep those resources. If you are not comfortable leaving a copy of the driver's license in the blue envelope, then you can certainly just write the driver's license down on the back side of that envelope, and that's fine. But it is handy to have just your registration and your insurance in there, and that a copy of it, not the original, just so it's ready to go. Because we all know when you get pulled over, it can be kind of flustering as you're fumbling through your glove box trying to find your document. So it's just right there in one spot. And we'll go to the next one. So this was for our community partners on all of us on what we did, our training, and the type of stuff we did for it. We have, I want to say 10 different languages. We have Tagalog, Spanish, Chinese. There's just a number of them, and they're all listed on our website. The media role is going to be like the videos that we saw. Those are on our main site as well. And you can download the brochures from our main website. The next one. And when you go on the main website, so say you want to do a blue envelope presentation, or you want to invite the sheriff's department to a blue envelope event, on the blue envelope page, you can actually submit it to our blue envelope team. I'm on that team as well. And that is the icon on the bottom right. But these are the resource tabs that will be there when you get to the main web page.
Well, thank you again. This was
Oh gosh,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah. And
I appreciate everyone's time. And I know, like I said, being a parent is hard. It's late in the night, and our nights sometimes are not done yet. So it's great that everyone, takes time. Your time is valuable, and we appreciate it.
yes, thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you.
And you're welcome to join us at our mom's events anytime.
Okay. Hey, thank
Great
you,
group.
and have a great night.